So as we get to variation 4, the sostenuto 3-2 variation, I suggest that you keep an ear and an eye on the timpanist. Sometimes in some halls it's hard to hear the timpanist, and sometimes just the visual aspect of being able to see where that strike of count 1 happens, dum, da-tika, 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 dum, da-tika, is very helpful in keeping everything together in this section. How you mute the timpani is going to be another issue, and you're going to need to discuss that with percussionists, but we tend to use either the moon gel or some kind of a washcloth or something like that to help mute the timpani in this section, which does help with clarity. Moving on to variation 5, con silenzio. This particular term can be a hard one to find in various dictionaries. Christine Ammer's A to Z of Foreign Musical Terms defines this as with vigor, and I like that particular definition a lot. It seems to be reflective of this section. So this section is a 3-bar canon. Every 3 bars we have a new entrance, and I might suggest that we highlight the new entrance by gently making a tiny little diminuendo at the end of each 3 bars of the new, so that we make room for the new entrance. For instance, I might add a little bit of a diminuendo in the 3rd bar for the snare drum to let the cymbal come through. And then once the cymbal's done, we have cymbal then gong. So 1 cymbal gong, 2, 3. And then a little bit less so that we can get the vibraphone in, presenting the bum 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 bum. Okay, so that we need to make sure that we make enough dynamic room so that each subsequent entrance is heard clearly. At 223, you have, as a conductor, a decision to make. And there are 2 schools of thought here. One is to go into 1, bim, bum, be, or a macro 3, bum, bim, bum, be, or to stay in 3, bum, 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 bum. There are advantages to all of these, but my personal suggestion is that you consider staying in 3 for several reasons. One, it keeps the music moving forward. It keeps the energy moving forward. As soon as you go into macro, there's a tendency to want to fall back on your heels in terms of both tempo and energy, and my personal opinion is that that's not what you want here. The other advantage is that you can give a nice little gesture of syncopation count on count 2 in measure 224 and measures like that. D, 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 to help define where to place the and of 2 for the brass. This occurs obviously in several times as as the piece moves along. And whether you're in macro or micro beats at this point, by the time you get to 241 or 242, you're going to want to go back into 3 if you haven't stayed in 3 already. I sometimes, in the very end of this piece, score page 35, is that the one? Yes, where the horns, 2nd and 3rd trumpets have bum, 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 bum. I will sometimes conduct that as a macro because there's nothing in the micro to conduct. There's nothing else. There's no rhythmic propeller to make that go. In any case, for the last 4 bars, I would go back into 3. And I think that that is the end of my discussion. I hope you've enjoyed this discussion of the piece. If you have any questions at all about this piece, please feel free to email me here at Ohio State. Thank you so much.